Hello and welcome, Candice Oneida here. In this week's episode, I want to talk to you about being in your feminine power. Another way I could have said this is learning how to slow down to speed up. Maya Angelou was quoted as saying, "I would love to be known as an intelligent woman, a courageous woman, a loving woman, a woman who teaches by being." So what does she mean by being? Well, being is at the heart and the core of the concept of feminine things and feminine power. Whereas masculine is about doing, the feminine is about being. So why do you want to know how to be? Well, if you want to know how to be in your feminine, you want to learn about being. Our whole world, our whole life, all of the paradigms, the masculine paradigms in which we live, are about doing and action and goal orientation. Do, never stop, never ending to-do list. Being, on the other hand, is experienced in the gaps between doing. It's experienced in the gaps between things. And being in and of itself is always there. It's just that in this doing-oriented, action-orientated world, we don't give ourselves much time or space to be. Now, the reason why I said this could have been called slow down to speed up is because as you learn to be able to actually slow down, and if you're anything like me, slowing down is still pretty fast-paced for most people, right? I get a lot done. In fact, I get a shitload done in a very short period of time. I'm just that kind of person. So once I kind of worked that out and actually fully owned that, I realized there was a whole lot more time for me to put into the learning, embodying, being in the feminine. That's not the only reason though. Because when I've learnt how to be more, to slow down, to become receptive and more in the surrendered orientation to life, my goodness, so much has happened. It's like in the night space, how when the night, and we're not doing anything in the night except sleeping, resting, regenerating our energy. I don't know if you've experienced this, but I'll wake up sometimes so full of creativity, my energy's all full and puffed up. And that's when I get these just big downloads of creativity, and I have to write them down quickly in my brain, which is Evernote. And then that's the product of beingness, of the gaps. Now, there's merit in bringing that into your life too, and not just being only when you're sleeping. Otherwise, daytime becomes all about do, action, and nighttime is the only time you get to regenerate, open, receive, and feel the sort of sensual pleasure and enjoyment that comes with that. Now, being is also experienced through our ability to be present and bring our presence, right? Slight distinction there. So ability to be present is when somebody is in front of us, a colleague or a friend or a lover or a child, and to be 100% focused and present with that person for that time or the duration of our interaction, right? How often do you allow yourself to really give someone 100% of your time and your holding and your time and your presence? Now, in our world, we've got email downloading and we've got a phone buzzing and ringing. Suggestion there is to turn off the phone every so often, okay? Turn off the distractions so you can be present. I know when I do private one-on-ones with my clients, email client gets closed down. Phone gets turned off. Anything that's going to buzz or ring or distract me being able to be 100% focused on my client gets turned off, okay? Learning how to be, really be able to be and shine your presence comes with activities such as learning how to meditate, how to become still with ourselves, internal, in a relationship to our inner state, in a relationship to the divine. Beingness is not something that has really been advocated or rewarded much. If you think about it, we're rewarded for the doing, right? We're rewarded by the action. That's what the world's paradigms are currently set up on, is action and doing. The truth is there's so much giving and service we do through the learning of being able to be. okay? And when we create this space inside of ourselves as women and we learn to be, we create a bigger space inside of us. The do, action, 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 that creates overwhelm, stress and burnout. That is a contracting energy. That's a contracting direction for us if it's done too much. Creating space for the being, as Maya Angelou said. She wants to teach through being. She also means by teaching by example. So one of the things I say to women who are entrepreneurs and or coaches or mentors, that kind of thing, is people will want to work with you because you fully embody the transformation that you promise to them. So think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. You can say whatever you like. You can be all glitzy in your marketing and your sales and your website and whatever else. But ultimately, people want to work with you because they know, like, and trust you. How do they know, like, and trust you? They know, like, and trust you because of how you make them feel. They feel both confident that you can provide them what you're promising you can provide them, but they also feel your humanity. They feel your openness. They feel your receptivity. So it's been shown that 55% of how people actually respond to us is body language. And body language is that. It's that sort of, are you embodied in the transformation that you promise the people that, or promise that you can provide, right? So other ways to be, I did this silly thing where I realized that every single time I used to get to a stop sign, especially in California, right? Because there's this concept called the rolling stop where you never actually stop. You kind of just hesitate or yield. So I made this decision that I'm actually going to stop at every stop sign. It infuriates the people behind me, but that's another story. I stop at the stop sign before moving forward. And it started to strangely teach something to me. What's the rush? What's the rush? What's the rush? Slow down, enjoy the experience, enjoy where I'm driving to. Getting there 3 seconds faster is not going to make a difference to anything, right? That's one thing I'd suggest. So try stopping at a stop sign and let me know how you go. Another way to sort of bring on the beingness is to do the thing where you turn off the cell phones and the distractions when you're with somebody else. I would also like to suggest that you try doing that for yourself. Create a technology-free, half a day or hour or 2 hours or something where you can just detox and have time for yourself, have time for self-care with yourself or with others. Try that. I guess my biggest, most foundational form of learning how to be is my meditation practice. So every single morning, the very first thing I do after getting out of bed is I meditate. And in my hour-long meditation, that's when I get into this very deep, rich, foundational relationship to myself and to that experience of beingness from deep inside, so that when I start to get up out into the world, I am able to shine that from inside outwards. So if you enjoyed my video this week, give me a thumbs up. I love your comments and questions. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe over here. And when you have the courage to go out there and shine, you give others permission to do the same. So let's go out there and shine this week.